Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back to ITOM batch 3, day 3. How are you doing guys today?
Doing good, Ajay. What about you?
Good, Ajay.
Good. I'm also good, guys. So, uh, as I mentioned yesterday, I just given you one topic to read about data centers and the DR, as well as the types of their infrastructures. Have anyone tried? Can anyone wants to be say anything on that one?
Actually, earlier I was go through your topic in YouTube. From there, I got the information about what is data center, what is DR,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. So
Okay,
that
yes,
is,
yes. Mm-hmm.
it's actually it is a physical facility that organization used to keep their critical applications. Actually, it's a physical facility where the organization keep their critical application.
Okay. Anyone
like
wants
the
to add? Yeah,
like the
got it.
component of that data center, like routers, switches, firewalls, storage system, and all that stuff.
Yep, right. Anyone else wants to add anything? Farida, do you want to add anything?
Oh, no.
Okay. Anyone else?
Maybe say physical facility to manage the infrastructure for any organization, you can tell, like for managing the applications and services. Um, but it's like a bigger bigger scenario, you can tell.
Okay. Then I think, yeah, let me share my screen and let's get started.
Hello everyone, just joined. Ajay, I mean, if you can repeat a question once again, quickly.
I just ask about that what is data centers and what is the component in it which we are using.
Okay, and did you get the answer?
Yes, definitely I will get the answers. If you want to add anything, feel free to add.
Um, data centers again, like it comes with the different facilities as well as different type and shapes. Nowadays, considering earlier we were having on-prem or a physical data centers. Nowadays, we have a virtual data center as well, which is available in the cloud, ranging from different components, say networks, uh, component, servers, network, um, um, databases, all these things comes under it, including your firewalls, and have um, various type of data centers, meaning considered to be as enterprise data centers, managed data centers,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and cloud data centers, and all those. These are the one which I'm able to collect on top of my head right now.
Okay.
Sorry, can
Right.
I say something about what you
Yeah,
just said now?
sure,
I
Michael.
think
Yeah.
about cloud provisioning for on-prem and all
Mm.
things. I think all these data centers have a physical location. Do we have a cloud data center somewhere? I think data centers are physically located on different locations. Do we have anything like cloud data centers? That part is a little bit confusing. I know when we have cloud provisioning, but for
Right.
you have data on the cloud, but it's still resident in a physical location somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, let me share, I have a couple of things there as well. Let me share something on that. Yes. DS, you want to add something?
Yes, Ajay. Data center is basically support a business data center, mainly working with server and hardware infrastructure to ensure reliable backups.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. Okay, I think let's get started and let's a little bit deep dive into the data centers technology. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's visible.
Give me one moment only. I think. There is one person who is not able to join, so I'm just trying to helping him out. Okay. Okay. So as you guys mentioned, data center is a physical facility that organization use to house their critical applications and data. Now, when the things comes in the picture or comes in the mind as well, when you say physical facility, now cloud data centers also there. Is that also physical? Yes. Definitely, that also with the physical entities, which says because that entity is having big room, or you can say, bigger as compared to the normal or standardized data centers. And that is not supporting only for, single organizations. The cloud data centers is supporting hundred or thousand of, organizations to store their applications, to store their data, to connect their network, right? So that's why we said cloud, because they have lots of space available in terms of infrastructure, right? Also, they will provide the capabilities where you can come, sorry, you can come and you can, whatever application you wants to be configure, whatever, infrastructure you want to be used, only for that you want to be paid. In normal terms, if I say, when you want to be set up a data center, what you have to do, you required first of all a big land or big infrastructure related to where you are going to be configure your data center, right? Then you are going to be purchase physical servers, network device, storage, computing, virtualization, everything, right? And top of it, once you done it, you required a support team who are going to be manage their downtime or their upgrades, their potential, I can say, patch updates and all other things, right? And end of the day, that facility also required to be managed, that temperature of the data centers, electricity, backup, UPS, right? So it's again, if you want to manage that particular data centers, you need at least 500 people's team for a single organization who are helping out in different ways. That's why the cloud data centers comes in the picture, where you don't need to be managed, or don't require to be 500 people who are going to be manage your data center. The data center team have, or the facility team have, or support team have, who are going to be manage that particular thing, and you are only going to be manage whatever you want to be run on that particular data centers. I see one person raise hand. Yes, please. Do you have any questions? Who raised the hand? I am not able to see the name. Oh, it's DS. Okay. DS, do you have any question?
No, Ajay, no. Sorry.
You can raise. Okay. So data centers are basically designed in a based on a network of computing and storage resources that enable the delivery of shared applications and the data. As already I'm trying to mention, the key component of the data centers which requires to be designed, that is router, switches, firewall, storage system, servers, application delivery controllers, right? So these are the main component which will be the part of the data center, where we are going to be where we are going to be using that particular component. We are running an application, An application can be belongs to a normal mobile application or the browser based applications or anything which required say infra, which required say system to be worked on it, right? That basically data center do. Now, if you see in the second component, like what is the component of the data centers? So as I mentioned, routers, switches, firewall, storage system, servers, application delivery controllers. These components are required to store and manage the business critical data applications. Data center security is critical in data center design. So what they provide first comes in the networks infrastructure. That particular network infrastructure going to be connect with physical and virtualized in both ways, basically data center services, storage, and external connectivity to end user locations, right? Now if I ask you, like you are trying to access any application like Airtel or Facebook or WhatsApp, how you are going to be able to access? That is not connected to you on the network, right? But over the thing that is connected through the internet, and you are able to once you are able to instance, you are connecting to the internet, and then it's connecting to their data center, or where that particular servers has been configured for that particular application. So network infrastructures provide that capability because they build that application on the open internet. Whenever you are in open internet, you are able to connect that particular one, right? Storage infrastructures comes in the picture. That is, data is the fuel of the modern data centers. Storage definitely, that required to be stored somewhere. So that things comes in the picture, which is going to be stored, right? One moment, I think. Give me one moment only, guys. Still he's facing. Just one moment. Okay, so to store the data, we require the storage, right? Like whatever you are using your laptop, if you are going to be worked on any Excel, PPT, or whatever, you are going to be stored that thing, right? The same way, whenever you are working on any application, when you ever design an applications which is exposed over the internet, any user is going to be use it, right? Or might be the user is going to be use it after logging some, a username, password, or some basic informations, you are going to be stored somewhere, right? So one is database where you are going to be stored, and other related informations like if I'm asking for an example of WhatsApp, right? So your chats, your you are sharing the images or whatever, right? That is going to be stored in the storage, right? So to store that particular information, that storage infrastructure is required. And then computing is infrastructure is something where applications are the engine of the data centers, right? So in that, mostly servers comes in the picture. Servers provide the processings, basically memory, local storage of that particular servers, and network connectivity that drive the applications, basically. So these are the three main component where things comes in a data centers. One is computing, where servers, your virtual machine devices, virtualization components comes in the picture. Second is storage. In computing, again, database is also there. In storage, we have storage related things, and network where we are router, switch, which help to provide the connectivity, basically comes in the picture, right? Give me one moment. I think he's facing lots of issues to connecting. Just one moment, right, guys? So he wants to join the session, but he's not able to do that. Let me try to add from here. Why he's not able to join it? I'm not sure it's the same one or not. And don't know Scott.
I guess so. You're saying Abhishek Misko.
Let me see. Let me revert. No, he mentioned he joined yesterday with the name of Abhishek Anand, but still he's not able to join today. I can see he's joined here, but when I'm calling, it's unavailable. He joined with the name of Abhi only yesterday. Not sure how he's joined that particular group. If it is joined correctly, I think that's why I especially mentioned joined with your complete name. So it's easy to find out you. Like if Abhishek Pal is there, I can find out Abhishek Pal is with their email IDs, right? But Abhi joined with Abhi only, right? So that is a little bit challenging. But yeah, I think I just added. Let me see if he is able to join or not. Sorry. So let me get back here. So yes, Klavi, do you want to add? No. Okay. So basically, we have four types of data centers. One is enterprise data center, where like these are the typical or standard data centers which is going to be used earlier, right? Where the build, owned, and operated everything is done by the company and are optimized for their end users. More often, they are in-house on the corporate campus. There are lots of examples like basically like Airtel have their own data centers and SBI cards or different. There are lots of organizations who have their own data centers, which is completely managed by that organizations that has been built on their own campus or on their own area on that's location, and complete everything is going to be managed by themselves only, right? So that is enterprise data centers. Second is managed service data centers, right? So when I'm talking about managed service data centers, that comes basically which are managed by a third party. So if I'm talking about managed by a third party, is somewhere where you like it just you wants to be buy or rent a car, right? So the particular car is going to be used or maintained by some other vendor, but whenever you required, you are going to be rent that particular car for your purpose. So that's the same way the data centers is managed by a third party or managed by a service provider on behalf of a company. The company leases the equipment infrastructure instead of buying it. So they are not going to be buy anything, only just they are leasing that particular infrastructure or that particular component, and everything is managed by that particular service provider, right? The third thing is comes collocations data center. So collocations data center is a company rent space with a data center owned by others and located off company premises, basically. Right. So I hope you are able to connect with this particular line where it's mentioned a company rent space within a data centers owned by others and located off company premises. So there are lots of organizations who have their own data centers, but still they are providing that they are providing the services for different organizations and they are not located in their on premises data centers, right? So in just simple words, if I give an example, uh, like you are using an applications where UPI or the payment gateway comes in, right? So the payment gateway is not part of your application, right? That is something managed by the different organizations or different, right? So they are managing their data centers, right? So that is something example of which, I'm talking about the collocation data center, right? Collocation data centers host the infrastructure, building, cooling, bandwidth, security, etc. While the company provide and manage the component, including server, storage, and firewall, right? So everything is managed by the different organizations on the rent space, basically, right? Where just you have to be, you have to be ensure your application or things will be running, just to be take care about those particular things. Otherwise, everything is going to be managed by their data centers. Now the next is cloud data center, where cloud data centers is off-premises form of data centers. Data and application are hosted on the cloud service providers such as AWS Cloud, or sorry, IBM Cloud or Azure, or any other public cloud providers like Oracle or somewhere, right? So they are the complete service providers. Now, if you little bit know about the cloud data centers, there are three type of data centers: IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS, right? So they have different services, different technology which they are using, where you can build your application, where you can design those particular things. Now, if you ask me why I'm trying to mentioning about the data centers, what type of data centers, what is data center, that is something whenever you are going for any assessment, for any discovery or CMDB things for an organizations, you need to understand what type of data centers they are using, because end of the day you need to create a connectivity, you need to discover those particular devices, right? And that, if connectivity is not there, if you are not able to discover the device, you are not able to if you are not able to understand what type of data center it is, then it's little bit tough to manage those particular things, right? Might be sometimes what will happen if it's a managed service provider data center or the co-locations data center, you don't have that particular connectivity to connect that particular data centers, right? So some vendors comes in the picture which help you to provide the connectivity, which help you to provide, like in this particular way, this is the method you can connect our data centers, and whatever you want to discover, you can discover it, right? End of the day, that particular data center or the infrastructure is managed in another way, managed by a different organization, right? And honor is different organization, but still you want to be connection, right? So if you have understanding about what type of data center it is, that's a little bit easy to understand how, or the how, it's just easy to define the architecture for the network side, how you are going to be connect, what ports needs to be open, where you are going to be allocate mid servers. If multiple data centers, there is no connectivity between the data centers, you can decide ki, I need to install 5 mid servers on the 5 locations, right? And you can also understand like connectivity about the other things, right? How, if you want to create a relationships of the all data centers, everything is comes in the picture when you have understanding about their data center solutions, what type of data centers they are using, how they are using, what are the different locations for that, right? So any questions in these two slides: types of data centers and what is data center and component?
Is there any data center in India?
There are lots of data centers in India.
Oh,
Mm, that is enterprise data centers basically, which company or organizations are going to be used. Managed service data centers or co-locations data centers is also there. Let me tell you, I just forgetting the extra data. Have you heard about that?
no, no, no.
So Nextra Data is one of that managed service providers for organizations. It's a managed service data centers, which is everything is going to be managed by Nextra, and they are just providing the space, infrastructure, and other things to different organizations. So there are lots of there are lots of organizations which is only working in India. So they just want to be operate their data centers here only. If it is in cloud as well, they are trying to check, or they are trying to connect here itself, like that connectivity will be easy. Any
As
other
you,
question? Yeah.
as you mentioned, cloud and data center also a physical facility.
Yes.
So that I cannot understand. Can you explain it
Okay.
a bit more?
Now let me tell you, let me ask you, you are using a normal Android phone, okay, and
Yes.
I'm using an iPhone. What is the difference between these two? End of the day, what are these? mobiles,
So end goal is yes,
right?
mobile.
End
So,
goal
yes,
is
sir.
just to call, just to do that. But
Yes.
why we are saying this is iPhone or this is, a normal Android mobile? Why we call? Because, you know, that particular data centers give you the sorry, that particular iPhone is give you some more security. OS is different. Sorry. So OS is different. Things are managing is in different way. The same way, it's a physical data centers only. What they are charging you, or what is that plan they are using? Whatever you are going to be used, you have to be pay for that only, right? As I mentioned, there are three types of mostly cloud data centers going to use IaaS, where you can only use the infrastructure as a service. So they will provide you infrastructures. On top of it, you want to be install, you want to be configure, you want to be do anything related to your applications, whatever you want to be run on it, right? They just provided you space in their data centers or in their locations uh for your applications. Example, you are buying some space on Google Drive, right? What is Google Drive? It's just end of the day storage, right? They are giving you 5 GB free storage on the Google Drive, and if you are extending more than that, they are going to be charge you, right? End of the day, that is a big storage server where just they are providing you, and they just divided using the technologies. This particular space means they just created A to Z spaces there, and this particular A spaces belongs to Pradikant, B space belongs to Ajay, C space belongs to someone else, right? So you are able to access only your own data, but end of the day, that is also part of some data centers that is going to be managed by Google or somewhere, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
same way, cloud data centers is nothing. It's a physical locations only, but we are not able to reach it. We are not accessible to go that particular data centers,
Oh, got it.
because that's why we called cloud data centers, right? I hope you heard or not, but there are lots of data centers from the Microsoft or AWS or Azure that are located under the sea.
Ah,
I
yes,
hope
yes.
you heard about it, right?
Ah, yes,
Right. So
yes,
there
yes.
are lots of things, but that still data centers, they are, because why they have located under the sea? Because the temperature is cool under the sea, right? They just fitted everything. They are just connecting outside of that when using the network, and they are able to do anything,
That's
right?
why I asked the question: is it any data center is in India? That's why I'm asking this.
Right, so that's are there. Lots of data centers are there. Their own organizations have their own data centers. But nowadays, what is happening? Things are moving to cloud due to the cheap cost, right? Earlier, as I mentioned, for enterprise or managed or co-locations data centers, what is happening? You have to be spend lots of money for each and everything, right? First of all, you need space, you need location, you need infrastructure, you need IT infrastructure, you need facility, you need support team, right? And then you need electricity, whatever, right, to maintain that one. And what cloud data centers are? Cloud data centers are is something like where you don't need to be manage anything. Like, it depends you what you want to be what service you want to what service you are purchasing. But end of the day, the high availability is responsibility by that service provider who are providing the service for you. Right. It just let me give a simple example. Nowadays, what is happening? If you are going to be in another city, you are going to be book an hotel, right? But Airbnb is also available. Like, if Airbnb is also available in that locations, did you go to hotel? No, because you feel hotel is little cheaper for me. I just need to spend one night or 2 nights. Why should I go for hotel? That particular same facility will be available on a less amount in the Airbnb. you can go for that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Right, so that is the same, technology, or we can say same terminology also used here. Everyone wants to be save money, but in different ways, right? So that is the type of it. Any other questions from anyone? I'm just moving to the next slide now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ajay,
I have a.
Yes, please.
So, is it possible for an organization to run both enterprise data center and cloud data center, or let's say they have they were managing their own data center before planning to migrate to cloud data center. So, what happens to the one they're managing before if they want to move to cloud data center?
So, if they are using the on-prem data centers, on-prem means they have on their on-premises, that infrastructure available. And if they want to move on cloud, right? So it's not a big deal basically, but they have to do, they have to just, get some space, get some infrastructures available, or, purchase on the cloud. And then slowly and gradually they can migrate from their, on-prem to cloud data centers. And again, as compared to discovering on-prem data centers, the cloud data centers discovery is little easy, where just you need some access and that will done in a simple go. Right. So organizations are moving from on-prem or managed service data centers to cloud data centers, but still there are lots of organizations who wants to be use their on-prem data centers due to some security reasons, like financial related organizations, BFSI or customers is not able to move their data center or their information outside the India, right? So they want to be maintain their data center in on their premises only, as well as in India only, due to some legal liabilities on that, right? So there are still organizations who are using on-prem data centers or managed service data centers only. I hope
Yeah,
I get your
that's it.
correct answer. Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else?
yeah, Ajay. So
Yes.
just a small query. Like, can you say tell me that what is the difference between a data center and a database? Like how it is different aspects actually.
Sorry, I am getting lots of noise, not able to hear clearly. Can you come again, please?
1 minute.
I can see some drilling machine is going on. Not sure what is that.
Hey, going forward, we can create relationships like real time. How we do that?
Which
Going to
relationships,
discuss
basically?
in the database. In the database, as you mentioned, we have to going to create some kind of relationships. You mentioned, right? So going forward,
So,
would we do that? Like
r-
how?
right. So basically, what I'm trying
Mhm.
to mention there, if you know, uh, how the relationships build in the service now discovery, that is automatic, right? If
Mhm.
you are, let me give you an example. You have a Windows server which is located in data center A, but that Windows server connecting to a network device which is located in data center B, example, right? But if you want to see a dependency map of it, if your data center B network device is down, what will be the impact? The impact on data center A Windows server, right? So if the connectivity between the both data centers are not there, and when you are discovering, you're not able to see that complete dependency map of it, right? So that's why I'm saying it will create the automatic relationships if you have correct connectivity between both data centers. If it is not, then definitely it will, half picture or, half big information you are able to see that.
That kind of relationship you're going to forward. We can create, right?
No, it's automatically create. So it depends. Like when I'm coming to the dependency maps, it's automatically create. Like let me give an example. So when we are discovering a virtualizations or vCenter server, in under the vCenter we have ESX. Under the ESX we have virtual machines, virtual data store, virtual nodes, whatever, right? And under on that particular virtual machines, we are going to be discover the host, right? Now, if you ask me what relationship is going to be built, that is automatically going to be built, but the relationships types can be ESX server or virtual machines to be host is virtualized by virtualize, or vCenter to ESX server is something virtual. There is one one relationship type is something virtual to virtualize, right? So that will be, or if any application running on the host will be that relationships type will be runs on runs, right? So there are lots of relationships which is out of the box created, and sometimes we have to be create manual relationships as well. And when we are coming to that particular relationships by, I will showcase you what are the relationships we have it and what is the best practice to use that particular relationships basically.
Yep. Sounds good, Ajay. Thank you.
Okay. Shall I move to the next slide now?
Yeah, just so I'm audible now.
Yes. Yeah.
It is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
So just a small query, like, oh, how is the difference? What is the difference between a database and a data center? Like, how it is different in aspect. So can you?
Database is completely different, right? Data center is where you are, that is complete a physical premises where your all infrastructure component lies basically, right? And which help to support your application. Database is something which is only related to your specific application, right? Not for the whole. And that particular database is all responsible for that specific applications which is supported by them, right? And just they are storing the data informations. They are storing that information related to the customer data or whatever applications that is going to use in. Right? So it's completely different basically,
Okay, okay.
right?
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so a database can be stored in a data center, right? As it is.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay.
The database is just a technology which is end of the day running on your infrastructure. That infrastructure can be Windows server, Linux server, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just a technology. It's just an application again, in simple words, if I say.
Okay, okay.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Have anyone heard about disaster recovery, DR?
Yeah, like disaster recovery is like that if if like in a disastrous situation happened, like loss of data or natural disaster came, our database like has some corrupted, so we need a backup for that, if so that we can recover the data again.
Right. So, what's happening basically, whenever any organization's going to be install or going to be live with any applications, they always think about it. What will be the backup if my this application is going to be down? Because end of the day, if anything, whichever you are using or nearby yours, right? You should try to understand like if what is a business impact if my application is down. Example, you are using Zomato, or you wake up in morning and Zomato is not working. What do you feel? Like you feel I'm not able to order today breakfast, I'm not able to order today's food, right? And and if it is not working for one location, means it's not working for completely Bangalore or Karnataka, it will be huge impact on the Zomato side. They are not able to get the orders, they are not able to proceed and all, right? So it's again business impact. To recover that particular things, what organizations do, they will set up a DR, or we can say high availability zones in data in the cloud side, we can say, right? So what is the purpose of it? They will design, they will configure as it is same applications on their different data centers on different location. If any issue occurred due to any crisis, natural disaster, or hardware failure on location A, they immediately move their applications from A to B data centers, and their services will be running without any disruptions. So that is the end goal of taking care of disaster recovery data centers, or in simple words, if I say high availability zones where their applications will be working without any issue. And that mostly they are doing for those applications which have direct impact on the business. If Airtel application is not working, you are not able to do the recharge, you are not able to see the plans and other things, right? So is directly impacting on that their business, right? The same way as I mentioned, Zomato, they are as same way there are lots of day-to-day applications which you are using, right? So the purpose of configuring or designing the DR is just to focused on minimizing downtime and data loss during and after unexpected disruptions, which unexpected disruptions can be happen due to any reasons, right? As I already mentioned, right? Locations, how that will be, it's a separate site or cloud environment designated for recovering critical systems and data, can be on premises, off and cloud based. So it always we have to be take care when we are designing the DR. If the main data center or primary data center located in Bangalore, definitely my second data center should not be located, or DR should not be located on Bangalore itself. That should be located on Chennai, on Tamil Nadu, or on Delhi, whatever. But it should be on different location, right? So that can be possibility. The flood is here in Bangalore. If you settle down the two data centers, one is primary and one is DR, both are not working on the same time. But in it's not possible on the same time everywhere, or whole India is affected or might be affected. So if that is possibility, if you feel, then we have to be set up DR in the different location out of the country as well, right? So that we have to be take care. Then functionality, provide backup system and data applications, enhance business continuity in emergencies, or implement recovery plans and ensure compliance with disaster recovery protocols. That examples, as I mentioned here, it's secondary data centers sometimes we called cloud DR solutions, we called DRS, and that there are lots of provider for that, right? Or you can also, it up to us how we want to be. And in cloud side as well, we are called the high availability zone or high availability, locations where your services or applications will be running. Now, why I add disaster recovery data centers? That most of the time using for that customers which are not exposed to on cloud side, they are using the on-prem applications or on-prem solutions as of now. So they definitely configure the DR, and you have to be discover the DR as well, right? But now what challenge you are facing, because DR will be activate in that case only if your primary data center is down, right? You cannot discover till the time if your DR servers, DR network is not working, and that will be working only when your primary is down, right? So you have to set that expectation with the customer to understand, and enabling the same type of access credentials, whatever required for the discovery. So you can discover the DR easily, and you have to be sit with the infrastructure team to discover some of the component which is not impacting to primary main data centers, right? So that's why, because that is also comes in the picture, and you have to be little segregate about on the CMDB side when you are going to be stored data in the CMDB. That particular CI belongs to DR, or that particular CI belongs to data center, and you have the complete visibility about your backup. Like if I just want to see, I have an application running on XYZ server, and if I just want to see what is the DR server of it, I have that particular visibility from the CMDB and find out that is the DR server of that particular main data center or main application, and you can transfer your applications. You can move your applications from A to B data centers if any issues there, right? You have to manage each and everything again, like manual attribute, which I mentioned earlier as well. So that is the value which we are adding using the disaster recovery data centers or high availability zones. Right. I just simply mentioned what is, DC versus DR. So purpose for disaster centers and disaster recovery, I just mentioned the purpose, data centers is just doing the daily operations and data management. Disaster recovery is restoring operations after a disaster. Locations primarily operation site. It's separate backup or recovery site. Focus is uptime and performance. And disaster recovery focus is business continuity and resilience. Tools use server storage networking gear. Here, disaster recovery, that tools use backup tools, replications, failover systems. Its data center is again proactive, and that is reactive after post incident only, right? So these are the simple examples which why our data centers and they are going to be used. And if you see in the image, it's completely replica of primary data centers. DR is completely replica of it, right? If you see that they are using the same here as well. It just they both are divided by a location or divided by a different site or different data centers. That's it. That's why we call this is DR and this is main data center or primary data center. Any questions in these two slides?
So Ajay, just a query like, is the
Mhm.
advanced high availability transfers is related to this and DC, like to to change the data center to the disaster recovery data center?
No, I'm not aware about any tool because I'm not from the infrastructure side, but mostly, yeah, that should be there. That will helping out to move out your, application or that, configuration from one data center to second. But I'm not sure about that, any tool specific like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? I think, I'm not here, like I just also mentioned providers like VM and Jericho, but I've also not heard about that as well. What is VM and Jericho? I will definitely go and research about it, what they are doing basically as it in data set DR technology. Okay, any other questions from anyone? Okay, let's move to the next slide then. As I mentioned, I just help you to describe about cloud computing, right? In simple words, if you say if you see on the first line, what I'm trying to mention from last couple of minutes is cloud computing service offer convenient pay as you go model. Pay as you go model means whatever we are using, whatever our consumptions, we have to pay for that only. It doesn't mean we are using 100 machine on the cloud, but my 100 machines, only the 20 machine utilization we are doing fully, and 80 machines we are only using for 1 hour in a day. So we just need to be pay for not for 24 hours. We just need to be pay for only 1 hour on that particular time which we use that particular infrastructure. It can be Windows or it can be whatever. Right. So we are just going to be pay for that model, right? That eliminate costly expenditure and maintenance basically. Cloud providers host a choice of infrastructure, platform, software, offerings on site that they rent, giving your organizations to flexibility to turn cloud computing services and down according to your changing requirement, right? So what is the best benefit I feel using the cloud computing is you are not going to be worried about anything. Everything is going to be managed by the service provider, and they are assuring you to give you the 99.99% availability of their infrastructure. by chance, if anything happen, any disaster will happen, so you can apply the penalty based on whatever that contract you have written, and you can get that particular amount from them. It's all about the availability. So here, if you are managing on-premise data center, if something happened by any reason or any disaster, where is that going to be impact? It is going to be impact directly that organization pocket, right? But in cloud computing, you're not worried about it, right? It's everything is taken care by them, and if it is happening something, that something is there. That's why DR in the DR comes in the picture. If they are not providing high availability zones or the DR, your application will be down. But immediately they are shifting to them. So now it's their responsibility to take care the business continuity management, right? So your business will not be impacted in that case. So there are primarily three types of services, basically, which provided by the cloud: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Anyone knows what is our, because our service now is again on cloud, what service as ServiceNow is using?
It's a
I mean, it
software
is
as a service.
software as services, platform as services.
Yes, right. So we are using software as a service and the platform as a service. So now if I say, I think the naming convention which I heard in last couple of days back, that we call SPP says, yeah, S pass, something we are saying in a single word, right? Why? Because it's a platform as well, and it's a software as well. If you don't want to be do that, they just provide you out of the box. You can go and use it. Platform, they will provide you the platform where you can go and build your applications. Like you can build your custom applications directly, right? So it depends. Now that particular technology is going to use more, where that they will provide you complete infrastructure, complete thing, complete technology, where you can come, you can design your complete applications, right? And even that application you can also use on your mobile as a APK or iOS version, right? So they will provide you. So let's go with the infrastructure as a service. There is infrastructure as a service as the building blocks for cloud-based IT. Right? In this model, a service provider hosts infrastructure component that traditionally located in on-premises data centers, for example, server, storage, and network hardware, along with hypervisor virtualization layer, usually resides in on-premises. With IES, your organization can choose when and how you want to administrate workload without needing to buy, manage, and support the underlying infrastructure. IES get your infrastructure works up and running quickly with as pay as you go model. In simple words, if I say infrastructure as a service, if you are using for the cloud, they will provide you the infrastructure, like whatever Windows server, whatever hardware, whatever storage, network, database, whatever you want. They will give you that one where you can, and now it's your responsibilities to whatever application you wants to be run on it, whatever you want to, what purpose you want to use it. It's now you have to be configure on that one, right? The platform as a service is which again build on IaaS model, but it usually specific to hardware and software tool for application development. Like again, as I mentioned, ServiceNow is a platform as a service as well. It built on that infrastructure only, right? But it give you a platform, it give you that opportunity where you can go, you can configure, you can work, or you can create your applications directly. The platform is going to be provided, and most of the DevOps organizations which are using, they are going to use that particular thing where they are developing their applications, right? So in addition to infrastructure component, they also provide host and manage operating systems and middleware that your developers need to create and run applications, basically. PaaS offers on-demand pay as you go model again, right? Software as a service is again where cloud providers host and manage an entire infrastructure. Now, if I'm talking about software as a service, like they will provide you infrastructures, they will provide you everything, but they will provide a software example, like ServiceNow itself. They will provide you a software where you can use as it is, or you can customize little configuration changes, but you cannot modify the end design whatever ServiceNow have designed and the backend, right? So that we call, or in that case, that it's called end user applications as well. So when your company chooses SaaS model, you no need to install anything. User will able to log in and begin the work immediately using the cloud provider application running on their infrastructure. SaaS free you think only about how your business will use that software and how to maintain it. SaaS is available on demand or by subscription again, right? So in service now, let me give an example. In service now, basically, how service now is going to be purchased, right? So whenever you're going to, whenever any organization reaches to service now, they will ask, what is the purpose of it? What where you want to use, what things you are going to be used, right? Based on that, you are going to be purchase the subscriptions for different modules, right? If the purpose is for ITSM, they will give you the ITSM what is out of the box built on their platform. Now you just need to be tweaked based on your business requirements only, where you are just changing the form, designing the form, just process only. End of the day, everything is designed. You are just designing based on your organization's need. Apart from that, it's ready to go. You can, if you don't want to be do that, out of the box everything is available. You just need to be connect with your AD. Everyone can log in and work on the incident module or whatever they want to be worked on it, right? So SaaS is something that model. I hope I am able to differentiate about these particular three things, which is mostly used in the cloud computing. Any questions in that particular slide? No? Okay, let me showcase you one example. It will, most of the time I'm using cloud computing. Example with Yep. Have you seen this particular image anyway, anytime, where pizza as a service we're just trying to showcase traditional on-premises, you know, uh, uh, like on-prem data center or on-prem, you can say, where you have to be manage everything, dining table, soda, electric, gas, everything. It's something like made at home, right? The same is next is infrastructure as a service, IES, where they will give you the infra, means whatever required to make a pizza. So you require cheese, toppings, tomato sauces, pizza up. But again, the fire on and these particular things you have to be managed from your side. Platform as a service, they will provide you that as I mentioned, platform or the infrastructure. But how you want to do that, how you want to showcase that is dining table and soda again. And the same way, software as a service, they will provide you everything. Right? So here it's pizza delivered. You want to be use it. Software as a service, it's completely dine out. Now you just need to be think about it, how you want to be present to different, another people. If you are dining out from at your home, right? So you have to be candlelight dinner or whatever you want to be do that, right? So it's just a simple example. I think it will help you to describe more about that.
Ajay, can you repeat it again on this stuff, this part?
It's very clear, like uh, if pizza, if you are talking about pizza as a service, where the 3 4 things is showcased on-prem, something whatever you are going to be made on your home, right? So on-prem data centers, basically example, you have your on-prem data centers where everything is going to be managed by you, like infrastructure, that facility, that support team, whatever required for to run that particular one, right? So that's why we called on-prem, and that is example of pizza as a service where you have to be take care about cheese, topping, tomato sauce, pizza stuff, everything, right? Then comes in the picture infrastructure as a service, where if you are going on the cloud side and if you are purchasing infrastructures, example, it's something like that. They will provide you the raw material which required to make pizza, but end of the day you have to be take and bake that pizza. So infrastructure as a service, they will provide you infrastructure like servers, network device, storage, database, but how you want to be use those particular infrastructure, it's up to you how you want to bake it. Simple. That platform as a service, they will provide you like they will provide pizza delivered to you after creating or making the pizza. Now it up to you how you want to be, you eat that particular pizza. So where dining table you required soda, or instead of soda you required coke, instead of coke you required something else, right? So you can use that one. Dined out some completely something is where you are going to be use the all service of that service provider. If you see, blue is something you manage, green is something vendor manage. Here software as a service, everything is managed by vendors only. So this is just a simple example of that particular one. I hope I'm able to
Got
help
it.
you out
Got
on.
it. Great example. Got it.
Okay. I think we are on the time now. Any other questions from anyone else?
Yes, Ajay, I have one question.
Yes.
Uh, at the start only, you have mentioned that we have cloud data centers, and I mean, it also consists of the. I mean, does it also consist of the physical entities? Because in cloud computing, they are providing different facilities like infrastructure, platform, software. So how they are maintaining it? I
Yes,
mean,
that again, it's a cloud computing we are calling, right? But end of the day, they are physical entities only. They are available in normal cities. Like if you are when I'm come to on that point on the cloud discovery, if you have discovered ever cloud discovery, you see lots of data centers comes in the picture. That is the naming conventions they have put it, like East Asia, South Asia, North America, Australia, East Australia, West Australia. They have just given the naming convention like that. But end of the day, they are data centers. But this cloud computing data centers is bigger than as compared to our traditional on-premise data centers. They have big
still they
space.
are cheaper. Still they are cheaper than the traditional ones.
Because why they are cheaper? Because now let me give you an example here. If you are going to buy a 1 kg potato, and the same day if you are going to buy a 10 kg potato, which will be cheaper?
10 kg.
10 kg, obviously, right? End of the day, if you are calculating that complete amount of that particular one, like if you're buying 1 kg potato is 20 rupees, and if you're buying 10 kg, might be you will get 170 or 160. So end of the day, you are saving 40 rupees, right? So
Yes.
they configured in that way. They have big space, big aliens, big contract with the different organizations, and then whatever now it is just whatever you are going to be used. Uh, Basically, what service you are going to be used, you want to be pay on that one. So customer side it's cheaper because I I I just want I have purchased 10 I purchased 1 kg potato, but in that 1 kg potato I need to use one potato for now. So they will charge you for one potato charges only. Means that might be 5 rupees only. Example, right? But if you are going to be utilize another potato for half an hour only, so they will give you charge for half an hour. It's not about that, they will charging you the 40 or 24 hours, that particular one, right? So that's why they are cheaper. End of the
So
day, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Uh, so in layman language, they are the normal data centers, but with some enhanced features, we can say.
Definitely right.
Facilities.
L- Definitely, securities are there. You know, it's in
Yes.
simple words. What I understand from the cloud computing, I am not going to be worry about anything. I am just need to be worry about what I have to be work or what configuration or installation I have to do on that infrastructure. Right. Everything. I also worked in data centers as well. You can't believe where you know we have to be take care about if servers is running or not. We have to be take care about the patch management. We have to be take care about the OS upgrades. We have to be take care about if any changes needs to be required, means hard disk need to be upgraded, RAM need to be upgraded. We have to be take care about moving out that particular one CI or one infrastructure, one device to one data center to another data center. We have to take care about the virtualization. So, and end of the day, there are lots of things needs to do by a support guy. But apart from that, facility need to manage or maintain the cooling of that particular data center or particular space. They need to be maintain the security, access, and all other things, right? They need to be maintain UPS, electricity, backup. Now on top of it, you need to be buy a or rent a space. You need to build a infrastructure where you can build your data center. Like you need to be acquire some land, or you just need to be build a house under the roof. You are going to be do that. So what is the cost of it? As I just give an example, if you're going to be, if you know, ki, I just need to be stay in this particular, city for 10 days, example. So why you're going to be in hotel? If you see that the Airbnb cheaper, you're not going to be in hotels, right? And the same facility, same things will be provided by them. So this is just simple thing. Organizations are trying to save their money. Organizations is trying to be move out from that existing or traditional model, so their availability, their service will be running. So what cost we are able to reduce here? The land cost, that infrastructure cost, the facility cost, the security cost, these are removed automatically, so we are saving, right?
Yes.
Okay, any other questions guys from anyone else?
Yes, Ajay. Which
Okay.
type of cloud computing is best?
Sorry, come again.
Which type of cloud computing is best?
It depends. It's not about the best. It depends on your, you know, usability. Like, what you want to use, what type of infrastructure you want to use. In my word, if you say platform as a service and software as a service is best, but it depends where you want to use, how you want to use, and based on that, you are going to be taking subscriptions of it.
And money also matters because they are
It's money,
charging for them.
definitely, definitely. So if you are purchasing platform as a service, the cost will be increased. If you are purchasing software as a service, the cost will be increased. And I hope you are aware about the service no costing and all things, right? So it's very huge again.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, then we are good for today. Any last minute or any other questions from anyone else? I hope you're enjoying it, guys. If you feel anytime, Ajay, this is not going good, if you want to provide any feedback, feel free to reach me out. Whatever you want to be at any content side or anything, I'm reachable anytime, every time. Just provide your suggestions, so we will make more good content for you, and definitely it will help you to move somewhere in your career side. Till the time, I'm just trying going with basics only, so you have little bit understanding about that.
Ajay, in item side, is there any opportunity on remote kind of thing? Actually, I don't know. Just I'm asking.
You are asking on the wrong platform, just go to the LinkedIn.
Okay, okay,
Sorry. LinkedIn, they
okay, no.
have lots of opportunities, brother, lots
Oh,
of.
oh, oh. Okay, okay,
Right.
got
So
it.
just search it, simple.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, I think then we are good, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We'll connect at the same time tomorrow. Before connecting, before just leaving for the today's meeting, again confirming you, tomorrow go with data center device type, what port, what credentials, what technology they are using. I'm going to be on little bit deep on that side. Okay, then till the time, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you all.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.